Hello friends, and welcome back to our Fast API tutorial. In this video, which is number 30 in the series, we're going to touch on bigger applications dealing with multiple files. So what we have here, we have our app up. This is still part 28 from 2 videos ago. We still have the SQL app in here. We still have the front end in here. That's all, it's all going to stay in there. But now what we're going to do is we're going to have kind of a sub app, if you will. We're going to set up a certain structure. That's what is showing up right here. We're going to set up a certain structure, and we're going to, kind of handle a whole bunch of stuff. We kind of saw it in the SQL app before, but we're going to kind of just take it a little bit further. So we've got our sub app with our dunder init file right here, and we're going to have. I'm going to start to. How do I put it? I'm just going to start to add the files. I'm not really going to discuss the structure ahead of time because it would be just a whole bunch of me talking and you looking at the screen. So what we're going to do, first thing we're going to set up, we're going to create a new Python package, call it routers. And then within routers, I'm going to create a new Python file called users.py. Now, from Fast API, we're going to import API router. And then we're going to instantiate our API router. Now we're going to just create some routes. We can do this just like you would with an app that we've done before. So we're going to do tags equals users for our router.get users, and then async def read users return, and then we'll just return an array. Username will be Rick, and username will be Morty. Okay, now we're going to do router.get users/me, not may, me, tags equals users, and then async def read user me, return username current user. And then we'll just we'll do one where you're passing in a username specifically. Router.get users username tags equals users. The tags functionality here is really just for organization in the API, and we'll see it in just a little bit. Async def read user, username is a string, return username, username. Okay. Good, that's reformatted. Now, what we're going to do within our sub app, we're going to create a dependencies module. Dependencies. Let's get rid of this. From Fast API, import header, HTTP exception, async def get token header. X token is a string, which is a header type. If X token is not equal to fake super secret token, then we're going to raise HTTP exception, status code equals 400, detail equals, we'll just say X token header invalid. Valid, not invalid, invalid. What is this yelling at me for? Default unfulfilled. There we go. Okay. Next, async def, we're going to get the query token. Token is a string. If token is not equal to Jessica, raise HTTP exception, status code equals 400, detail equals no Jessica token provided. Okay, so now we've got our Oh, not what I wanted. There we go. Now we've got our two dependencies set up. And now we are going to, we're going to create another router. Okay, so we've got our users router. This time we're going to set up an items router. From fast API, import API router, depends and HTTP exception. From dependencies, import get token header. So now you can see why we did the dependencies after users and didn't then set up items first. So now we're going to say router equals API router. So prefix is going to equal /items. And we need to, so just as a reminder, I ran into this little issue a while back. And you know what, I'm going to expand this out for now because we don't have the app actually open right now. I ran into this issue a while back where I didn't include that leading slash. We have to have this on the prefix, but since we're going to be, so what's going to happen with this prefix is we're not going to have to add in /items/ to each route that we create on this router. By including this prefix, it will automatically do that for us. So we don't want to put the slash at the very end of it because we're going to put the slash at the beginning of each route. So you'll see what I mean. Tags equals items, dependencies equals depends on get token header, and responses equals 404 is going to be description not found. And you'll see what we're going to do with that in just a little bit. Now let's create a fake items DB. We'll do, no, I'm not going to do this one. Let's see, let's think of another database. Whatever, I'll just go with this one. Name is Plumbus. And then gun, nope, colon, name, portal, gun. See, I'm not as big of a gamer, so it doesn't, whatever, it's fine. It doesn't really matter. Now, at router.get. So this is going to be our base route, but this is going to be /items. And then that's it, because we're setting that prefix. Async def read items, return fake items DB. And the beauty part about all of this is because we've declared our tags up here, we've declared our dependencies up here, we don't have to worry about adding them to our decorator at all. It just comes along for the ride. Okay. At router.get /item ID, async def read item. Item ID is a string. If item ID not in fake items DB, raise HTTP exception, status code equals 404, detail equals item not found. Okay, sorry about that. I think I just hit the microphone. And then otherwise we're going to return name fake items DB, item ID, and we're going to get the name attribute. And then we'll return item ID, item ID. Now we're going to do a put request as well. Router.put item ID. And we will do tags equal custom and responses equals 403 description operation verboten. Okay, async def update item ID is a string. If item ID is not equal to plumbus, raise HTTP exception, status code equals 403, detail equals you can only update the item plumbus. Otherwise, return item ID is our item ID with a name, the Great Plumbus. I'm going off documentation on this. I have no idea what this refers to. So if anyone wants to throw that in the comments, you know, great. Okay, so let's see. What do I want to talk about right now? So in this one, we have, so there are a couple things that are going on here. So we have our general stuff that's showing up here. And then what we can do, we can add extra tags to certain routes. We can add extra stuff to these routes, the tags, responses, things like that, that will show some extra information for a 403, which we're raising right here. I don't want to say too much about this just yet, because I'm probably going to end up saying something that's incorrect, because kind of I don't work with a script, in case you can't tell. So I'm just going to keep on going, and then we'll kind of see it as things unfold a bit. So let's create our main Python file, main.py. So from here, from fast API import depends fast API. Now we're going to import from dependencies. Get query token head, get token header, and get query token. Okay, and we're going to import a couple other things in just a minute. Something with the routers, and I'm going to put this to do import routers, just because I want to show you something else. So now we have app equals fast API dependencies. So we're going to have a global dependency is going to be get query token. So we had a dependency for our items, which was get token header. And now we're going to have a global dependency that's going to show up everywhere, which is get query token. Okay, so we're importing get query token. And now what we're going to do is we're just going to add the routers. But first, let's just create a app.get / async def root return message hello bigger applications. We'll save this, and let's just go ahead and start. Oh, where did my mouse go? Okay, there we go. Let's just go ahead and run it, and let's just see what it looks like. Let me open up the window. Localhost 8,000, not 3,000. Okay, we have no routes, and that's because I'm not using the correct one. So let's stop this. We are going to do uvicorn, nope, not uvoc, I don't know how to pronounce that. Uvicorn, what is it? Sub app, main app, reload. Oh. It's not a slash, it's a dot. There we go. Refresh. We have a route. It's the root route. Try it out. A. No Jessica token provided. So let's look at our get query token. Token needs to be literally the name Jessica. Hello, bigger applications. Okay, there we go. We're good. Now, what we want to do is we want to import the routers. So from routers dot users import router. And then what we can do, app dot include router, router. Now we save and we refresh our page. And look, we have our root route again, but we also have all of these routes as well. Try it out. This will not work because this needs to be Jessica. And you can see we get Rick and Morty. If we go down here a little bit, again, Jessica. I think I'm probably going to, you know what I'm going to do? Get query token, dependencies. Equals Jessica. Let's see if this works. Refresh. There we go. Just because I don't want to have to type it out in each one, but you can see the point of having that in there. Okay, so now, and we can just type in our username, blah, blah, and we get it. Great, fantastic, we're good. Now, though, we get into a little bit of an issue, because if we look at items, we called this router, and if we look at users, we called this router. So if we try to import from .routers.items import router. Now if we refresh the page, let's do this. Save, refresh the page. We're still only going to get our items because we're overwriting this. So there are a couple of ways that we can handle this. I'm going to get rid of this. So we want this one to be our users router, and we want this one to be our items router. Now, how do we do this? Well, there are a couple of ways. We can just first do from routers import users and from routers import items, or we can just do items right up there. And then this would be users.router, and this would be items.router. And now we save and we reload, and there we go. Now we have our users, we have our items, and we have this custom. This route, the items/item ID shows up in both of them. What did we require for the X token? I'm just going to make this fake super secret token because I don't want to have, again, I don't want to have to type it each time. There we go. And we notice, if we go back to our items router, for this one with the item ID, with the put request, not the get, the put request, you notice we got the 403 with the detail of that, but we can see the description for it is Operation Forbidden, which is what we've, I don't know if that's how you spell it in German or not. I don't speak German, I speak French, but I do know a few words. So there we go. We can see that that's updated there. Now, you notice we also have the not found that we set up before. Operation Forbidden, not found. We also should have not found on this one. And there's a bunch more information that you can include in the error. Like you can see up here for the responses, the 404, we kind of only have this description here. There's a bunch more information that you can include that we've seen before, but we're not going to get into too much detail about it. Okay, now let's go back to the main app. Now, this is one way we can do it. We can do from routers.users import router as user router. From .routers.items import router as item router. And if we hit save and we refresh the page, you can see everything still works. We're good. There's another way we can do this that I will just touch on very quickly. If you have a lot of stuff going on, you can from .items import router as items router, and from .users import router as users router. And then we can get rid of this. From .routers import users router and items router. So if we do this, nope, stop that please. There, now we hit refresh. There we go. So we can import this, and if you're using type checking, you would need to do, I think it's all equals items router and users router. Otherwise, MyPy will yell at you. Okay, so now we're importing that. We've got these two different routers. It doesn't really matter which way you do it. You know, just kind of keep it in mind so you don't lose track of things. And then I think that's kind of it. Like anything that you can do on the app that we've seen before. Let me pull up Fast API. Let's open this a little bit, or zoom in a little bit, I should say. I don't think it's request example data. So yeah, I mean we can do something like what we've done in the past here, where we describe, you know, we describe what these things would look like. You can do that for, you know, for your examples, but with like in the dependencies. Nope, not in the dependencies. In where is it? Items. So you can add more information to this sort of stuff right there. But that's kind of it. There's, you know, you can include API routers in other API routers. It doesn't have to just be into the main app. You know, you can nest this sort of functionality. You can get very creative, but it can also get very confusing very quickly. So I would caution you against that. Start kind of high level and then work your way into more detail as you need it. Okay, so I think that's it for this video. We've got, it's looking like about 4 or 5 videos left, I think. In the next one, we're going to touch on background tasks. Okay, I will see you there.